Hey, this is Loki. Welcome to the temple. It's time for everybody who has been neglecting and avoiding stepping into cosmic consciousness to finally make that leap. There is nothing else to do. Please listen very carefully. There's nothing else to do but enter into cosmic consciousness fully, totally, completely, without any regret, without fear, without shame, without guilt, without delay. What the world needs, and the only way to bring light into the ignorance, into the darkness of violence, cruelty, suffering, trauma. The only way to illuminate so that there is no repetition of the old patterning is to step firmly, totally, and completely into pure cosmic consciousness. This is not only your birthright, but it is your dire responsibility. It is your absolute birthright to know the ecstasy, the peace, the joy, and the love, the wisdom, the intelligence, the beauty of cosmic consciousness, and it is also your absolute responsibility. There's no more time to walk around pretending that the pinnacle of spirituality is individualistic item grabbing. We're not here as a primary goal or focus to collect or acquire things in the name of manipulating cosmic law. That's ego, that's violence, pretending to be spiritual. This is not a put down of material. It's the recognition that the acquisition of material things is peripheral and in fact a total sidebar to the truth of our being here and the reason for our being here, which is to live in cosmic consciousness and to bring attention and awareness and to offer the invitation to all to step into cosmic consciousness. There is no race, there is no gender, there is no sex, there is no nationality, no politic, no caste, no creed. There is either consciousness or there is ignorance. And if you see the nature of ignorance, you see that ignorance itself is not only an illusion and a destructive, violent one, and that everything that comes from ignorance, from ego consciousness, can only beget suffering, hatred. It's not redeemable. It's not salvageable. The contracted self is not only unreal, but it's useless. It doesn't benefit us or anybody to continue playing with that toy. In fact, it's inhumane and it's unconscionable. The only thing that is truly good, that is truly ethical, and that is truly moral is to enter totally and completely and fully into cosmic consciousness. That is all. That is all. There's no excuse not to. There's no reason to continue playing around with divination. There's no use, and in fact, it's a great diversion and a waste of time to continue giving attention, time, money, power over to people who are simply selling spiritual pyramid schemes, distractions, diversions from the very immediate need to fully step into the eternal embrace of cosmic consciousness. Cosmic consciousness is a love that is so pure, so complete, so whole, so unbreakable, imperishable, undiminishable, inaugmentable. It is beyond beginning and end, beyond birth and death, beyond appearance and disappearance. It is the only reality. Everything else that appears is an illusion. And everything that is, anyway, is made of it. You can call it God. You can call it truth. You can call it love. You can call it peace, wisdom, beauty, intelligence, compassion. It's not an object. It's not a belief. It's not an idea. It's not a notion. It's not a concept. All concepts about it are not it. They are much less than it. They are false. It does not need to be sustained by an idea or an image or a belief or a concept. In fact, all ideas, beliefs, images, and concepts get in the way of the direct perception and of your realization that you are that. It is what you are. It is what everything and everyone is. There's nothing but that. And in this, everything is seen to be in everything else. Everything is everything. When you are here in cosmic consciousness, it is impossible to not see everything and everyone clearly. It is the very essence of clarity. And it's this essence of clarity, this surrender to this essence of clarity that we are lacking. And in it you see clearly who is in it and who is surrendered to it and who is resisting it. And to resist it is to resist love. And to resist love is to be violent, is to propagate suffering, hatred. There's no time left for it. We're coming out of our prototype civilization. We don't live in civilization. Civilization has yet to occur on this planet for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of years even. We've been living in as prototype human beings in prototype civilization. Civilization is one continuous march of history, fragmented, and yet every piece reflects every other piece. The broken pieces go together. They can't be replaced piece by piece except that those pieces are the same as the old ones. Civilization, which is psyche, externalized, can only be very superficially modified. Its physics is the same. 10,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, the physics of psyche doesn't change. The physics of empire doesn't change. We are either in the contracted psyche, which is what we psychologically call ego or ego consciousness, also called the contracted self, or ignorance, or we are in consciousness, aware of the eternity of formlessness, timelessness, which is hypersaturated with raw, beginningless, endless intelligence, the nature of which is pure love, pure compassion, pure peace, pure wisdom, pure knowledge, pure awareness of what is as it is, in which there arises no desire to abuse or exploit. And our entire prototypical civilizational structure, which is the basis of all countries and systems of law and religious organizations and scientific organizations and artistic and entertainment organizations and military industrial complexes and economy and psychological structures, philosophical structures, all of our family structure, our socio-political structures, our whole imperialistic structure of the prototypical civilizational paradigm in which we live the world over is born in violence and suffering, sustained in violence and suffering, and so is naturally ending in violence and suffering. A reshuffling of the furniture, which is all we've tried to do because that's all ego can do, doesn't work. It can't work. Only a waking up to cosmic consciousness, only a waking up to cosmic consciousness and to living it fearlessly. There's no other way. There's no other way than to realize your inseparable unity with the source of creation, with God, with love, with truth, with peace itself, with compassion, the real living intelligence of it. God is not some image created by some group or some culture or some creed or some religious sectarianism. God is not an image. It's not a concept. It's not an idea. And it cannot be made an image out of. No religion has touched it in the sense of no religion can describe it. You can't describe it. God is neither male nor female, neither masculine nor feminine. God is both, neither, and altogether beyond being either, both, or neither. God is all there is, and all there is God. It is love, it is grace, it is compassion. And the awareness of this that we are, coming into the fullness of consciousness, this is the leap that must be made for us to move from a type 0 or a prototypical civilizational paradigm, which is where we are, to a type 1 or to an actual civilizational paradigm. There's nothing else. We either wake up to consciousness, to cosmic consciousness, to God consciousness, to love, to true love, not jealousy, violence, envy, wrath, greed, hatred. That's not love. We wake up to the real thing, which the ego considers too good to be true. It is both good and true. The word good means whole. That's the etymology. It means whole, complete, unbroken, unborn, undying, not corrupt, not broken. It's not an image, it's not an ideology. It is a pure self-guiding, self-forming, self-moving intelligence. And it's this and this alone. This and this alone is not only the only reality, and even though it seems totally impossible to the ego, when you touch it, you see that it was always a choice. And that staying in the violence of ego is also a choice. It's a choice to stand totally alone, in sovereignty, and yet true unity is in sovereignty. Sovereignty is not a game of verses. True sovereignty only comes when there is cosmic consciousness. And in cosmic consciousness, we are all one. And there's no antagonism, no hatred. We could all dress differently, walk differently, talk differently. No hatred. There's no antagonism in it. It's perfect in every way. In every way, it's perfect. It is total sanity, whereas the ego mind, ego consciousness, is totally and completely insane in every way. Completely insane. Insane. And it takes so much work to keep it up. Whereas cosmic consciousness is effortless. It takes care of itself in every way. So this is an invitation. And know that this is what this channel is for. This is what my life, this is what this life, and there really is no my life, there is life, there is life, there's life, 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 and life. And here, this is what my life, the space here, the presence here, this is what it is dedicated to. To be a living beacon and a living invitation to come to consciousness, to come to love, to come to peace, to come to truth, to come to wisdom, to come to compassion. There are many ways to talk about it. We can speak about it from many different... We can begin anywhere. We can begin religiously, we can begin scientifically, psychologically, artistically. We can begin from so many different traditions. Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Hindu, shamanic. Everything points to God. Everything points to cosmic consciousness. Everything points to love, to compassion, to truth, to peace, to beauty itself. Everything points to you, to the truth of who you really are. I'm looking forward to serving you, to being with you. Speak to me. Let me know. Go ahead and drop messages down below. And if you're seeking, if you're stuck, please don't be afraid to reach out and talk. I'm looking forward to getting this going as a larger community endeavor to invite everybody back into the core, into the truth of who they are, so that all can live in freedom and beauty and joy, free from violence, free from abuse, free from tyranny, free from exploitation. To allow the intelligence of what we are, the intelligence of love, the intelligence of compassion, of joy, of peace, to be that which we, as human beings, allow ourselves to surrender to, so that we may step into the incoming paradigm of true civilization. I love you all very much. I love you. Peace.